Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let me reintroduce myself again. My name is Janelle. I'm the co-founder of a company called Announce My Move LLC, and many of you have been on a webinar with me before. We've talked about in the past webinars how to log in as a member with the Illustrated Properties brokerage account. We've talked about Announce My News, the social marketing platform for your corporate office, where they create marketing messages for you, and all you need to do is share them with your branding. And we've talked about Announce My Listing, where we take a data feed from the MLS and we auto-generate an agent version and a seller version of your listing announcements. Today we're going to talk about the Create from Scratch program. Okay, so I want to just go over again how you log in to your brokerage account. Okay, we've had a few people who have had a little problems with this and want to make sure that that you've got this straight. Okay. You're going to come to announcemymove.com and you're going to put in a /IPRE, okay? Then you'll come to a screen, you'll see your logo here for Illustrated Properties. Then when you come to member login, you'll come into a member login that's specifically for Illustrated Properties. And you'll notice the logo here, and in the URL, it's ipre.announcemymove.com. So you know you're on the sub-server that we have designed specifically for Illustrated Properties because you guys have a lot of custom features. And that's what makes what we're doing with you guys unique in your market. And your username is your regional MLS of Florida user ID, that public ID. And your password is everything before the @ sign in your email address. And it gives you instructions, all lower cases. Okay? If you have any problems logging in, you just contact help@announcemymove.com and we will be more than willing to help you. Okay? Now I'm going to use a real live account. I'm actually going to use the one for Nancy. She's a new agent. So she doesn't have any listings today, so we're not going to announce my listing, but we are going to focus on some custom creative announcements that I created for her. So when you log into your screen, I just want to review a couple of things before we get started, okay? So up here in this green section, you're going to see a little link about this program. You're going to see the Illustrated Properties orientation videos, and you will notice that on this page now, the webinars from the past 2 webinars that we've done, actually past 2 are there. And if you were having a problem with this video previously saying that it was private, we've corrected that. Okay, so you can learn about Announce My News and the Announce My Listing program. That's already up there. Okay, this one is being recorded as well, and it will be on your training site shortly. Okay. All right, so let's go back over that members area. The other thing I want to point out is tips and tools. I want you to read tip number 19. It's how do I tell my buyers and sellers about Announce My Listing, about Announce My Move, about the announcements you're creating to help them, whether it's they've got a new listing, an open house, or that they're moving, okay? So that tip number 19 is located right there in that green bar. There's also a webinar training link and a social media training center link. I do trainings on Announce My Listing, Announce My Move for agents all around the country every week. You're welcome to hop on a live webinar as well. Okay, it may not be specific to Illustrated Properties, but it's using the same tools, and so you'll be able to easily follow me and be able to get that orientation that you need. Okay, I also teach a basic and an advanced Facebook class every single month. I will be in your area November 3rd and 4th. You should have received communication through Debbie or Chappie to get registered for my classes. Okay, there's also a video on there. Watch the video on that announcement that I created, so that you can decide which workshop is best for you. Okay, and bring your computer if you want to. Okay. Now Jeff said, I'm sorry that we're late. Jeff is here. Great, we're glad that you joined us. The other thing I want to point out here is that I want you to come into this Edit My Information, even if you've done it before. Okay, log back in, check out that Edit My Information, because you're going to see some new fields here. Okay, you're going to notice that a few things look different. You now have the ability to put in your Facebook URL, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your YouTube channel, your blog page, okay, if you're using any of those social medias, and we'll display a button on your banner on the right-hand side on each of your announcements going forward, okay? And as you scroll down, you'll see that you also have the ability to add in some of the most commonly used association logos. So if you're a CRS or an ABR or a green designation, et cetera, you can now add those. I want to address teams one more time. So if you're working in a team decide which MLS number you're entering all of your team listings for. Okay, that's the account you want to log in and change the photo to a team photo, perhaps put your team website, team email address. Okay, remember when you change this email address, your password will now be everything before the @ sign in lowercase, and then you can add all of your additional team information. Okay. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that when it comes to phone numbers, this is an editable field. So if you want this to say Nancy's cell or Susie's cell, you can do that. Okay? I'm going to pause here for just a moment and ask, is there any questions regarding your edit my information or how to log into your brokerage account? If there are no questions, just give me a little message back on the GoToWebinar service letting me know that you're ready for me to move on. Okay, so I'm getting some good feedback, and everyone's good to go. Of course, you guys are all the early adopters, so you've probably already been on and navigating through stuff. Okay, so I'm getting lots of good feedback. I'll keep looking to see if there's any follow-up questions. Now, we're going to go through the Create from Scratch program. Okay, you can create any custom announcement from scratch. The marketing message is totally up to you. I'm going to tell you the most commonly used announcement type are our moving announcements. As you can see from our logo, our original concept for our company was Announce My Move, personalized online moving announcements. Being the company founder, it was a program that was created for me. Okay, I was doing a We've Moved postcard for my buyers and sellers when they would move. And so we took the postage and print out of it because it got to be too expensive, and we created the online version of the We've Moved postcard with a homeowner interface so that our buyers and sellers could upload their own family photo, send it to their friends and family with their change of address, and introduce me to all their friends and family along the way. So our moving announcement is still a very popular Create from Scratch announcement. So I want to show you one of those, okay? But I also want to show you some custom announcements that you can create, and we're going to do a little bit of brainstorming about how agents around your area and around the country are using our Announce My Move Create from Scratch program, okay? There was a quick question that came in, so hang tight. It says, we tried to sync with Facebook, but it went to our personal page instead of our business. How do we fix that? Okay, so what you need to do with regards to your Edit My Information, you want to make sure that you put your Facebook username in here, okay? So if you don't know what that is, you go to facebook.com/username, and you can set up a username for your personal profile, and you can set up a username for your business page. So you just need to make sure that you put in if you want this to be your business page, you put the username that you've established for your business page, okay? And then it will go directly there, okay? Did that answer your question? Is there any other follow-up I need to do on that? So if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/username. You can use it for your personal profile as well as your business page. He said, yes, thanks. Okay. I want to show you how I created a fictitious moving announcement. Okay, so I went into Nancy's account and I went into this Create button, and it takes me into our Create Announcement wizard. It's just that questionnaire. It will look very similar to Announce My Listing. It will be slightly different, but there's no data feed, so you need to upload the information. Okay, now I thought it was going to be here in this area, but I think I published the announcement, so I'm going to go into my View Announcements and find that moving example and click on Edit. This will be the exact same questionnaire or Create Announcement wizard as if I had created from scratch, okay? So I'm going to click on Edit. You will be clicking on the Create button the first time that you do this. Now this is taking me into our Create Announcement wizard. You'll see the same similar shortcuts on the left-hand side, the similar window that opens up here, but the Preview button is now located in this upper quadrant. So every time you fill out a portion of this questionnaire, come up here and preview it and see what it looks like. And then I think it will start to make more sense as you're starting to build your announcement, okay? So we're going to do a moving example. I would nickname this perhaps 123 Main Street Moving, okay? Or James and Ann Jones Moving. Whatever you want to nickname it, that's how you're going to find it in your reports. When you click Next or Save and Continue, it's going to save your work as you go through, okay? So the next section is the banner. Now, this program is being used with agents across the country. Not all of the agents across the country have a brokerage account, nor do they have listing announcements coming over to us in a data feed, okay? So they might be creating announcements from scratch that are just listed, for sale, open house, price reduced. That's why you see these banners here. These are the most commonly used banner types. And there's your custom banner when you want to create a custom announcement. I'm going to show you a couple of custom announcements I created using Nancy's account here in just a moment. Okay? So with Announce My Listing, you're going to use your listing announcements through that data feed, okay, because it's going to save you a lot of time versus creating it from scratch where you have to upload the photos yourself. So you're probably not going to be using these banners, okay? But let's say this is a moving announcement, and we're going to do We're Moving. Now, I've found as a real estate broker that there's kind of a little window of opportunity, the best window of opportunity to send a moving announcement out to your client who's in contract, buyer or seller, okay? It's usually right when you know you've got loan approval, it looks like a good solid deal, and you're maybe a week or so away from them moving, okay? And so think about that. When after they move, if you send them a moving announcement after they move, then they're going to have their computer packed, they're going to be in chaos, etc. Okay? Usually the computer is the last thing to be packed and the first thing to be unpacked. But if you can get them to send out their moving announcements prior to their move, I think you'll have a better traction. Okay? So click on We're Moving, and then click Save and Continue. Now you have the 3 color templates options, and you simply click the little button right here to choose which one you like best. And you're going to see that it's automatically defaulted for a full banner. You have the option of a discrete banner as well. Here's the difference. The full banner is going to display on the right-hand side all the images, your logo, your photo, and all of your information, including your designations. The discrete banner is going to look more like this icon. It's going to remove all of the images and just have your very basic information there. We have had agents in the past with luxury properties prefer to have very discrete banner on the right-hand side. And so we gave that option. Okay? We think that most of you are going to use a full banner, so we've defaulted it for that. Now the next section is a Preview Modify section. It's just a placeholder. There's nothing you need to do here. It's a feature that we're working on for advanced editing, so just skip on past that. Okay? The next section is your name and title lines. Well, when you're doing a moving announcement, this is pretty obvious. Your client's first and last name go here. Now, we have some optional title lines. If you would prefer your announcement not to say James and Ann Jones on it, and you'd prefer it to say the Jones family with James, Ann, and Susie, then you would use the optional title lines. It replaces that information on your announcement. So if I were to preview this, let me show you where that is. Okay? So we've got a We're Moving banner. And I don't know if your colors look a little weird on your side because you're actually looking at my screen. So if the colors look a little different when you do it on your own, it's because you're looking at through a webinar. Okay, you've got your banner on the right-hand side. You've got the Jones family, James, Ann, and Susie. Okay, so that's where that's being filled in. So if we head back over to that wizard, that's what it looks like. Okay. Now the next section is the address. You put in the client's address, where they're moving to. Right, guys? This is for them to send to their friends and family with their change of address. So put their new address here. If you'd like to put in their phone number, you can as well. Here's what happens. If you put in an address here, then when you go to look at the announcement, you're going to see that we've added a view map and an update address book. Okay, those icons will appear only when there's an address field in here. There may be scenarios when you're doing a creative custom announcement, maybe a happy Halloween announcement or something of that nature, or a market update, where you leave that particular field blank, where there is no address there. Then we will remove the address book and the view map. It's a function of the address field. Okay? The next section is the client comments and the member comment section. Okay? Let me pause here for just a moment and make sure that I'm going at a good pace for you. Type me a little message back and let me know if you have any questions up to this point. Okay, so I'm getting some good feedback. It's a good pace for everybody. If there's any questions, go ahead and type those for me and I'll be looking for them. Okay? Now you're going to see that there's a client comment section and a member comment section. Oh, okay, so we've got one person that says, I'm taking notes, lots of notes, but I'm keeping up. Okay, good, Jeff. There's a client section and a member comment section. All this is the body of the announcement. The client comment section is obvious when you're doing a moving announcement. This is where your client's comments go, okay, your buyer, your seller who's moving. And what I'm going to suggest that you do on a moving announcement, always, here's my suggestion, always write a little message for your seller just to get them started. I like to see, hi everyone, we're moving, please update your address book with our new contact information, your friends, then put in your client's names, okay? You can allow them to edit this or not, totally up to you. Okay, with a moving announcement, I would suggest that you allow your client to edit or write their own message there. But at least you've gotten them started. So they might be really, really busy and they see what you wrote and say, oh, that sounds pretty good to me, and just go ahead and send it off. Okay? So they don't feel like they have to write a personal message. But if they want to, they can overwrite what you wrote here. Now, this text editor is going to look very similar to the one on Announce My Listing. It's slightly different. Okay? It's an older version of our text editor. It does all the same functionality. You can bold, italicize, change the font, size, and so forth. On the text editor, my suggestion is that you do a minimum of a 14 font, okay? Find a pretty font that you like. I tend to like these italicized, so it looks like it's like a real letter has been written, okay? But you format it the way you like it best. But make sure it's easy to read. I like to see it bolded and at least 14 font, okay? Now, for most of you, you're just going to use this text editor in the basic sense with formatting text. Some of you might be more advanced. And this text editor is the same as the one on Announce My Listing. It can do more than just edit text. We have a webinar that I do every Thursday. It's a Beyond the Basics webinar. It's at 1 o'clock Eastern. You can hop on at any time with me. In fact, one of the assistants to one of your teams at Illustrated Properties, she was on the call with me right before this webinar. And so I'll show you then how to use this text editor to embed video, add hyperlinks, embed Google Maps, Shutterfly images, photo bucket images, and so forth in the body of the announcement. Okay, but it is a more advanced feature that's not ready. It's something that everyone on this call is going to use. I will point out for those techies, there's that HTML toggle source, so you can convert it into HTML and cut and paste your embed codes. My techies will know what we're talking about, okay? So we're going to go ahead and let our seller edit this personal message and go ahead and click Save and Continue. Now the next section is a member comment section. So if I'm looking at the body of this announcement, the client comment section goes on top, and if you use the member comment section, there'll be a little divided line between the two areas. You may have noticed this when you did your Announce My Listing orientation or when you created one of your listing announcements. The personal message is going on the top quadrant, and the property remarks are going in below that little divided line. Okay? On this platform with the Create from Scratch, we call it Client Comments and Member Comments. On Announce My Listing, we call it the client's or the agent's personal message and the property remarks or property comments. Okay? So it's just called something different, but it functions exactly the same way. Okay? Now, in this scenario with a moving announcement, I do not suggest that you put any comments in here in the member comment section. I will oftentimes see agents do it. It happens all the time. I see an agent, who calls me up and say, my seller, my buyer won't use their moving announcements. I'm not getting any traction. And then when I go in to look at their announcements, they've put messages in this member comments that are really more of a personal nature. And their seller or buyer didn't want to send it out to their friends because it looked like the agent was promoting themselves. For example, I'll see agents do it was such a pleasure to work with James and Ann Jones on the purchase of their home. Please refer your friends and family to me. And they just talk a little bit, and it sounds self-promoting. Okay, you've already got your banner on the right-hand side. Leave this text field really for your seller to communicate and buyer to communicate with their friends and family about their move. Okay, that would be my suggestion. Okay, give me some feedback on that. Do you guys agree with that? Type me a little message. For my advanced agents, and when I do my advanced Facebook webinar on November 3rd and 4th, I'm going to suggest that you pull out your little flip camera, your little video camera, or even your iPhone, and take a little video of your seller or your buyer communicating with their friends and family, okay, about their move. Capture that moment, and I promise you, a significant number of times you're going to get a customer testimonial out of it. And you can take that video, pop it onto your YouTube channel or hop it onto YouTube, and you can take it embed code and have that announcement feature that video right here on the page so that they're talking to their friends. Okay? This is a little sneak peek. Okay? I am getting some feedback. People are saying I agree big time. They agree with me on that, making this more about your seller and buyer than about you, promoting yourself. Okay? Now the next section is the pictures. Okay, remember there's no data feed coming to us. So this is where your client is moving to. Well, the client may be moving out of the area, okay? In which case you can use one of our stock photos. You can click on that button there and use one of our stock photos. We've got some moving boxes and moving trucks and so forth to choose from, okay? Or you can upload the pictures and captions yourself. You can have up to 10 pictures. And you can allow your client to upload their own personal picture if you'd like. Picture number 1 is for your seller. They control that one. So you can say yes or no. It's up to you. If you say yes, then the first picture you're starting with is picture number 2 of 10. And you can upload the pictures of where they're moving to. There was a quick little thing. One person says, yeah, I think that you're right. Don't butt in on their announcements. They were commenting about that previous thing. Okay. So when you upload photos, you're browsing on your computer and uploading those from your desktop or your documents or your file folder, your picture folder, okay? And you can add captions next to it as well. I'm going to show you in a custom announcement I do later how to use these optional link address and optional link text, so hang tight on that, okay? When you upload an image, if you have any issues uploading a photo, it is probably because one of two things. Either the photo is enormous, it's a huge picture and it needs to be downsized for internet use, or it's not in an image file. You're trying to upload like a PDF, something like that. It needs to be an image file. JPEGs are best. I find that JPEGs are the easiest to work with, okay, and they look the nicest. So when you upload your photo, for those of you who are techies, and you know you're going to ask me this question, this image right here is actually sized as 350 by 350. If you have an image that is 100 by 100 and you upload it, we're not going to make it any bigger, okay, where it'll distort the image. It's going to be teeny tiny. So you want to get the nice, big, full images. If you have a photo that's, let's just say 500 by 500 pixels, then we're going to downsize it to fit within this window and keep the clarity and the nice image here on your photo. Okay, so there's no fuzzy edges and so forth. Okay, but we're not going to make the little ones bigger. So you want to make sure you get those nice, big, full images. Let's get back into that wizard. Once you get all of your pictures uploaded, then you can put them in the order that you want. There's a little green arrow here that you can toggle through and move your pictures around, okay? And then you're going to see something that says slideshow. People oftentimes forget this because it's kind of down here at the bottom. You want to enable a slideshow so that the pictures are moving. And every 5 seconds seems to be the most popular unless you've got quite a few captions underneath, in which case maybe 10 seconds. Okay, so when you preview it, decide for yourself what the speed is best for you. Okay, and we've reserved that first image for your client. The next section is the virtual tour link. If you have a virtual tour link, you just put the URL for the link right here, and we will display that button that says View Virtual Tour. Okay, if you don't have a virtual tour, simply leave that blank, and this icon will disappear, and everything will move up. The next section is we've previewed it. Now we're going to send it to our client. Okay? So you have a couple different options to choose from. Now I want you to take a step back because you're going to create lots of different kinds of announcements using this Create Announcement Wizard. I want you to think, okay, what type of announcement did I just create? I created a moving announcement. So who's going to be emailing it out and sharing it with their contacts? Only my client. Not me. And not both of us, because those are maybe for different types of announcements. This is a moving announcement. It's only going to be sent out by your client. So go ahead and click on My Client and pop in their email address. And then do you want this email address to appear on the announcement, yes or no? Okay? It's up to you. And we give you 2 spots, husband and wife, personal and business email address. Now this send function is going to be different than Announce My Listing. Okay? Here's how it's different. we have a preview email that we've created for you, similar to Announce My Listing, okay, for the homeowner to get into the homeowner interface. And we've got that letter we've created for you. The difference is that in Announce My Move's Create from Scratch program, we've got that preview letter here for you. We've got a subject line, which you have access to change. The greeting is being pulled from the client's first and last name that you entered in. This letter is a smart letter. If you've allowed your client to edit the message, upload a photo, or neither of those, this letter will generate the correct version automatically for you, okay? And it will put in your signature line based on how you have your display name on your banner. Now, when you click Save and Continue, it will appear as though it came from you to your client, but it's actually coming from our server. So that function is different than Announce My Listing, where we open up your Outlook or we create that letter for you to cut and paste and put in your web-based email system. Okay? This preview letter is on our site, and we're emailing it out. So although it looks like it came from you, it came from a third-party server. So pick up the phone and call your client. You know, as a broker, I know, real estate broker, I know we don't always have good news for our buyers and sellers. But this is a good phone call. This is the time for you to say, hey, I created this great moving announcement for you to share with your friends and family. Make sure you take a look for it. And why don't you get that out before you pack up your computer? Okay, I know it's going to be a little crazy after you move. This is a good time to do that. Okay, and it may have gone in their spam filter. You just never know with it being a third-party server. Okay, so you want to pick up the phone and call them. Now, I'm not going to actually click Save and Continue. I'm not going to have that sent off to from Nancy to me. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here, but I want to pause here for just a moment and see if there's any questions on how to create a basic moving announcement using our Create Announcement Wizard. Type me some messages back so I know how you're doing. And by the way, for those of you who are tech savvy, this is that same text editor. So if you want to convert it into HTML and pop in a little video of you talking to your seller about this Announce My moving announcement, this is your chance to do that. Okay? So I'm getting some good feedback. I'm hearing that people are great. They understand everything. It's at a good pace. Don't be bashful if you have any questions. Kathleen asked, do you have a discrete banner to show us? I'll be happy to show you that. So if I come back over to Banner, and I look at my banner color template, and I switch it to discrete, and I save it, now when I come up to Preview, we'll see that that is a discrete banner. See how we removed the photo and logo? Okay, and her designations? Okay? So you can decide again if that's right for you or if you want it to be in the full banner. Okay? You just simply change it, save and continue to save it, come up in Preview, and now you'll see that it's converted back into the full banner. Okay? So we've had a few questions that have come up. So let me start from the top. Okay, so Kathleen says, thanks. Seems better for moving announcement. So perhaps a moving announcement if you'd rather have a discrete banner. You know, each of you can make your own decision on that. And Lee asked, then will we need to take the photos and do a virtual tour of their new home? It's really up to you, Lee. If it's a local property and it's on the MLS, if you want to take like the outside of the property off the MLS system and take that photo and use that, you can. Maybe you want to go at the walkthrough and take a picture of your clients in front of the front door of their new house. So you have a lot of different options. In terms of the virtual tour, I don't know that I would take a virtual tour of their new house. That's a lot of work. I know that's a lot of work for you guys. You might want to also think about, maybe there's a distressed property that your buyer is moving into. And, maybe it doesn't look so good on the outside. And, the inside of the picture is like the other people's furniture. And they're going to be painting the walls and redoing the backyard. I've had a lot of agents over the years use this as a housewarming gift. Let's do a basic moving announcement with a stock photo or just a family photo. And then after you've made your house a home, Mr. Seller, Mr. Buyer, I'd be happy to come back and take a couple pictures for you and create a moving announcement for you that says we've made our house a home and use one of those custom banners, okay? And maybe offer to do a housewarming party for them, come in and personally meet their friends and family and bring in some sandwiches, Okay? I've seen a lot of agents do that, and that's been really successful for them. Now, Susan says, can the seller add more than one photo, or is it just one? Great question, Susan. Right now, the way that the system works is they can upload one. We're going to be doing some additional enhancements this next year on our Create Announcement Wizard, so that if there's 10 images here, we're going to be increasing it to 25. So you'll see that enhancement coming down the pike. And if you've uploaded 5 of those photos, it's going to give the rest of them, the 20 of them, to your buyer or seller to upload additional pictures. Okay? So more functionality coming, but right now that the program is allowing you to have your seller upload one image. Okay? Great questions. What other questions do you have for me? Debbie, go ahead and unmute me on your side and see if there's any questions in your room, okay?
Janelle?
Yes.
Hi, it's Debbie. If we have a team, is it possible to have 2 separate individual pictures in the banner?
Great question. The answer is yes. Here's what you do. You essentially, and if you need some help with this, I'll help you from a graphic design perspective. If you send me 2 images, I have had people, we have to combine them into one image, okay? So what I've had agents do, or have us do, is we take the 2 photos and maybe position one up higher and one down lower with a little bit of shading, and then we make that into one image that then gets uploaded. Okay? So if they don't have a team picture together, but they have individual photos, if you want to send those to me, if they don't know how to do it, I can put them together so that they look nice side by side. Okay?
Janelle, but I have a team that does not want their picture together. Is it possible to do 2 in the one banner?
No, it's not. This is one image at the top and an image at the top and an image at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay? So I think what I heard you say, let me make sure I got that right. So you've got a team. Is it a team of 2 people, or how many people?
2. 2 people.
And they have 2 individual pictures. Do they want to have both of their pictures displayed here on the bottom of the banner? Or what exactly are they wanting?
Yes, but separately, like not combined together in the one area.
So they want one at the top of the banner and one at the bottom. Is that what they're wanting?
Space between, right?
Side by side.
Or space between.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Side by side with space in between them, sure. Basically what I'm doing is I'm combining the 2 images, putting them together side by side with a little space in between, and then taking that whole image and making it a JPEG. Did that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, so you can have 2 separate photos with a little space in between, and that'll be perfectly fine, okay? The challenge that we have is that you're going to find that with the color templates, you will prefer the color template that is white on the right-hand banner. Let me show you an example, okay?
Okay.
So where you've got the banner where it's the dark color here, you're going to see that this image is going to have white in between the 2 photos because they're in one image. I can't make it into a transparency.
Okay.
However, there is that one color template for illustrated properties where I think there's white on the right-hand side. That will look the best to use that particular color template.
Right, because
you'll see a white box. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
And I am noticing some of these images that people have coming over from regional MLS, they've uploaded, have white boxes, white around them. And so I used my trimmer and just trimmed Nancy's image and reloaded it. Okay?
Yes.
So take a look at your image and make sure that it's a nice reflection of you and your brand. Okay? Now, I want to show you a custom announcement that I created for Nancy. Nancy contacted me last week and said, hey, Janelle, I've got this really great market report that I have. It looks like this illustrated properties comparison of August 2002 to August 2011 for Palm Beach County. She sent me a PowerPoint presentation. Said, can I use this in an announcement? And I said, sure. It's a little bit more advanced, but absolutely, you can create a custom announcement. So what I did is I created an announcement for her and used our custom banner that says the Palm Beaches Market Report. Okay? And this is where those photos were, but Nancy didn't have any listings of her own. So we went on to the Illustrated Properties website, because I don't have access to your MLS. I just went on to the Illustrated Properties website and found some illustrated properties for sale, okay? And I pulled them right off your website. And these were just the prettiest pictures that came up first in a particular price range, okay? It was no rhyme or reason when I did this for her, okay? And then as I scrolled down, she had given me information about a special report, and she had some forecasts and so forth. So I just took her information and used our text editor and formatted it for her so that it looked like a little letter from her, okay? And I put on there, from the desk of Nancy, and I can't pronounce her last name, your real estate connection in the Palm Beaches, okay? And then down below, I used our text editor, a little bit more advanced feature, and I took that PowerPoint presentation, I converted it into a JPEG image, I uploaded it to PhotoBucket. PhotoBucket has a free program. So you go to photobucket.com and you can upload JPEG images, videos, and so forth, and they'll essentially give you an HTML embed code to go on a web page. Well, remember, we're a web page. So I just snagged that code and put it into our text editor so that it would display that image here. It wasn't designed to be able to see all the little details of the report. It was really just to be kind of eye-catching so that the phone would ring so that people could get a detailed copy or one specially designed for their neighborhood, okay? And it featured some of the top listings in that particular area, okay? So that's how I created this program for Nancy. So let's go back and look at that wizard because I want to show you the same wizard. Now we're just doing something that's not a moving announcement. So we nicknamed it August 2011 Special Report, so it's easy to find in our report. The announcement custom banner we used was the Palm Beaches Market Report. You have to be kind of creative because you have about 30 characters, okay?
Janelle?
Yes.
Janelle, it's Debbie in the conference room. We lost connection with you.
You did?
Yes.
Did anybody else lose connection with me? We'll pause here for a second.
Okay.
Type me a little message back. Okay. Nope, everyone else is good. They've got connection.
Janelle,
So we'll wait for you, Debbie, okay?
Okay.
Janelle?
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Question. With regard to dumping that PowerPoint JPEG into PhotoBucket,
Yes.
then PhotoBucket translates that to HTML, or it is an HTML language anyway?
That's correct.
I've never done that. So it'll take a photo, translate it to HTML language.
That's right. This is part of my advanced class that I do on Thursdays, but let me just take a quick little time here to show you, okay? I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed by this because honestly, it's not that difficult, you just need to learn it, okay? When you go onto PhotoBucket, set up an account. It's really easy. It's free, okay? So you pop in your username. Let's see, I don't have this on this is a different computer. It's not my computer. Let's see if I can figure this out, what I did. jodishu@fox.net, I think I used. Let's see if I did this correctly. Try it this way. This might be my wrong email address. Oh, wrong one. Okay, let's try this one. Just going to take a minute to show you, okay? Okay, so it's not wanting, I'm doing something wrong. So when you get in to your PhotoBucket account, okay, you basically are uploading an image, and when you've uploaded that image, it will give you a link to share, an instant message link to share, lots of different share options, and one of the options is an HTML embed code. Now, you don't need to know anything about HTML other than you just need to copy that code and paste it. And it'll take that image and it'll put it onto our page here. Okay? And on Thursdays, when I do my advanced class, I demonstrate that. Okay? Now, I know not everyone on the call here is going to be doing this level of things with our text editor, but I want you to know that when you're ready, we're here to help you learn how to embed video, add hyperlinks, photo bucket images, Google Maps, okay, interactive maps. If you have a flyer, a JPEG, a PDF flyer that you create, you can convert it into JPEG image and pop it onto your listing announcements. I see agents doing lots of really cool things because we're a web page and not an e-flyer.
Okay. And we're back on.
You are, okay. So now looking at this Create Announcement Wizard, I use that custom banner, the Palm Beaches Market Report. And Bob, real quickly, I just want to mention, if you're going to use Photo Bucket and you're converting an image and popping it onto Photo Bucket, this area in this body of this announcement is 680 pixels wide. So you want your image to be 680 or less wide. It can be as long as you want it to be. It'll extend down and down and down, okay? You don't want it to be wider because then it's going to take this banner over here on the right-hand side and push everything over. Okay?
Is that defined in the language, or is that just something that's on the measurement of the...
That's the measurement of our announcement, the window that you're looking at here. Okay?
Is that in the Photo Bucket language too, where I'll limit it to 680 pixels wide? Or...
No, you actually have to upload the image the size that you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So if you need help understanding how to resize an image, I can help you with that. Every computer is a little bit different if you're using a Mac versus a PC.
Okay.
With a PC, it's like Windows Picture Manager. With like a Mac, it's maybe your iPhoto. Okay, you can downsize images. Okay. All right. So let me keep on going because I know that was a little advanced question. I don't want to overwhelm those people who are not really following us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know people are like, thank goodness she's moving on. Okay, so we pick and choose which color template we want. Okay. And then we get to that client section. Now, I chose to use Nancy's name here. I could have used Nancy's name and then put my special market report. I could have put anything in here, but I chose to use Nancy's name. Okay, so that's what's being displayed. And I popped in her address for her office, okay, and her cell phone number so that they could map the address to where she's located. In the client comment section, I put in her little personal message. Now, I want you to always use the client comment section. Even if this isn't a moving announcement, there is no client involved, I want you to put your personal message here. In fact, whatever you want shared on your social media sites is what you put here. When you click share on Facebook, when you preview that announcement and you click share on Facebook, it's pulling the first little snippet of what's located in the client comment section. Okay? So I know that it will feel a little weird putting a message under the client comment section, but this is just the text field at the top, the text field at the bottom, and in between the two there's a little divided line. Okay? So you don't have to use both areas. You could just use client comments if you wanted to. But I strategically used both, so there'd be that line between the two. Now, what you want to do is use the text editor to format the text. Type in here and then format. Okay? For those of you who are more advanced and you're going to want to go on to a, let's say, is it Jonathan's Landing? Is that in your area? Jonathan's Landing, I think it is. Let's say like Kim and Bonnie Clark work in Jonathan's Landing. They've got 9 listings there today, and this is the truth, okay? And so they want to go on to Jonathan's Landing website, and there's an event happening on at the golf club, and they want to promote that event, okay? Well, and then feature some of their top listings. Well, you want to go onto that website and pull the information, but if you go onto the website and take your mouse and actually copy words from another website and try to paste it in here, it's going to bring over code with it that you don't see until you go to format and to look at your announcement, okay? It's going to break the page. You can't take a copy of another web page and then pull it over. You need to do your typing within this section. Now, I have found people don't read, okay? The fewer words you can put in here, the better. You want it to be eye-catchy. You can hyperlink it to where you found the information, okay? When you want to hyperlink something, all you do is you take your mouse and you highlight over the words you want hyperlinked to a web page. And in this text editor, you right-click with your mouse, and it says Make Link. Do you see that right there? That's going to open up a window where you can put in a URL, and after you do that, these words right here will now have an underline on it, and when it appears on your announcement, it will be a link to a web page, another web page. Okay? So let me show you that again. So if you want special report comparison to be hyperlinked, let's pretend it was that golf club, country club event, and you want to do a ... read more where you hyperlink over to their website, you highlight it, use your mouse, and right-click it, and make a link. And it will open up a window, okay, that will, I don't want to mess up her announcement. It'll open up a window where you pop in a URL, okay, and make it a hyperlink, okay? So format it how you want here using our text editor. Remember, people's eyes are not that great, and they're using these mobile devices, so make sure it's easy to read, okay? I would stay away from, the font colors are fine. If you want to do a special font color, be careful with background colors. I think they look a little weird on the templates. I see some agents do some crazy things with background colors. Play around with it if you want to do something fancy, but I think your font colors look pretty nice on those templates. So if you want to do something like in a light green or a dark gray instead of black, you can do that, okay? Now, this is irrelevant. There is no client involved, so it doesn't really matter which one of these buttons are clicked because we're not going to have a client come in and edit this. This is an announcement you're creating to send to your contacts, okay? Now, in the member comment section was where I strategically put that, that image of the market report. And if I convert this into HTML, you'll actually see the photo bucket, see right there, little code that they gave me. And I cut and pasted it right there, okay? In fact, I think it's actually this whole thing right there. That's the photo bucket thing. Now, I'm not a techie. I don't know anything about how to create that code. You don't need to know anything about that code other than you copy it and paste it, and there the pretty picture appears. Okay? That's simple. So when you're done with that, if you want to upload some pictures and captions, you want to have all 10 pictures. So say no. There is no client involved. So you want to have all 10 pictures, and what I chose to do was browse and upload photos that I found on your Illustrated Properties website where there were some featured properties, okay? And I added captions next to each one, but what I also did was I used this optional address, link address and the text link. Let me show you how I did it. So if I look at this particular property and I want to look at how I uploaded this, I'm just going to replace this image or caption. You'll see that I've got that image there. I took this right off of your website, Frenchman's Reserve 515 Jarden Drive, Palm Beach Gardens, presented by Illustrated Properties at 800,000. And then I actually took the URL at the top of that page where that listing was located, and then I typed in the words more information so that when I preview it and take a look at that announcement, you'll see it right there with that more information. If you click on it, it will actually take you to the page where that listing is displayed on Illustrated Properties. Okay, this is a little advanced kind of stuff. I just wanted to show you that you can do these kinds of things. Now, do you have to add a caption? No. You can just put some pretty pictures of some houses, and in the body of your announcement, simply say, oh, and by the way, here's some of the top listings in our area today. Call me if you want more information. Okay, so this can be as detailed or as simple as you want it to be. Okay. Now, I don't want to go into too much more detail there because I know that there's a lot of people on this call that are not techies and that this may be a little bit too advanced for them. So I just want to kind of leave it at that and then invite you to come on to my advanced trainings that I do on Thursdays. Okay? Now, if you have a virtual tour link, you can put in a virtual tour. Otherwise, leave that blank. We've previewed it. So when you preview it, you use the share buttons to share. Okay? So if I wanted to post this on Facebook, I would preview my announcement, click the share button. It logs me into my Facebook account. Okay? Let me go ahead and demonstrate this. So for those of you who have questions regarding share buttons, I'm showing you how to do it. Okay? and it's logging me into my personal profile. Okay? Oh, and I'm on a new device, Rob's computer. Okay. It's taking the first image and the banner and the first little snippet of what you wrote and posting it onto the wall. Okay? We'll see if my internet connection is giving me a little problem. Okay, so my internet connection is giving me a little challenge here. And it does give you the ability to send it to your wall, which goes onto the newsfeed of all your followers. You can put it on a friend's wall. You can post it to a group if you're a group administrator. You can post it on your page, your business page, or in a private message. And you can control the privacy as to who can see it based on your lists, custom features, if you want everyone in Facebook to be able to see it, etc. Now, this is the share function as of October 2011. Facebook changes stuff all the time. So if this is a recorded webinar and this share function has changed, please just know that that happens all the time with Facebook. This is what it looks like today, okay? If you are going to share this on a business page, what you need to do is log into your business page on Facebook, okay, and change your identity to use Facebook as the page. Then come in and use a share button. Only then will this announcement be posted on your page as the page, which means it then goes onto the newsfeed of all your followers, and you see the analytics on your business page of how many times this announcement was viewed, the impressions, and the feedback. Now, if I've lost you because you don't have a Facebook business page, don't worry. I'm going to be out there doing my basic and my advanced class on November 3rd and 4th. You do not have to have a business page to be successful in Facebook. Okay? I'm going to show you that there's some compelling reasons why business pages are a good idea, but you need to be prepared for the level of complexity that they present. Okay? So if you're on this call listening in and I just sort of lost you with the share functionality with business pages, don't worry. I'm going to be there to help you guys understand how to best strategize social media for your business. Okay? All right. So I think I just got bumped out. Let's see if I got bumped out. Let's see what questions you guys have. Okay? Type me a little message and let me know. How are you doing? I wanted to show you how to do this particular announcement. This one is going to be sent to only me. As soon as I click on Save and Continue, this banner and hyperlink gets emailed over to Nancy. I'm in Nancy's account. Okay? Then she can forward it using whatever contact management system she uses. Okay? You're not going to upload email addresses onto our site. You're going to use whatever contact management system you currently use, and then use the preview button to share it on your social media sites. I know that there was a question, Debbie. I heard you in the background.
No, we're good. We're good in this room. We lost you a couple of times, but we're good now.
Okay. We had one person ask, thanks. That's what we were asking when we said that it went to our personal page instead of our business page. Okay. So that's what the question was earlier with regards to Facebook. Yeah, you want to make sure that you go into Facebook, change your identity to use Facebook as the page, then use a share button. And by the way, that's every share button, not just ours, Jeff, okay? Every share button. You want to make sure that it's being posted correctly when you have a business page, okay? There was another question that came in. Let's see. Was the text just above the embedded photo also in code? Was the text above the embedded photo also in code? I think what you were asking was, when I looked at this announcement, was this in code? No, it's not. In fact, I think what you're asking is that when I come over to photos, let me just review that one more time, okay, and I upload a picture, you have the option when you upload the photo to enter in a caption, and then if you want this is the text that you would have in the caption. So in my case, I put more info, and then I actually added the URL, not an embed code, it's just actually the URL, the address at the top, okay, for where that particular property is located, okay? One person pointed out to me today that I used the Illustrated Properties website, okay? So when I used and did more information, it actually went to just the generic IPRE website, And so you may not want to do that. You might want to actually have it link over to your website so it's got all of your information on it, because she saw this 800 number and the contact me, and that wasn't her. And so she didn't want to direct people to a page that she might potentially lose this lead because they went over to another agent. Okay? So I just wanted to make sure you noticed that. I just did this for the purposes of this demo. Okay? There was another question that came in. Oh, in the embedded report. I think she actually had a different question. No, on the bottom where you embedded the report, Kathy. Let me look back. So if I look at the announcement and I'm scrolling down, she was asking me about a link where I embedded this. Yes, I think what your question was is this right here is actually from PhotoBucket. See where there's a window that comes up that says PhotoBuckets right there. Oops, it disappeared. There it is again. That's the embed code from PhotoBucket that went onto the text editor. That's how that image is being displayed. Was that your question, Kathleen? The text below the line. This text below the line is just simply text. I formatted that and centered it, and then below this text, I added the embed code for illustrated properties. Okay, I think I answered that question. Give me some feedback and let me know if I got that right. She says, oh yeah, great. Okay, great question. All right, Debbie, we've got some advanced agents on this call. This is not going to be the average agent doing these announcements, but I'm glad that you guys are on here because these are really, really good questions that a lot of people are going to ask at some point when they're ready to do more with our text editor, okay? So let's go back. So this is an example of that featuring more than one listing at a time, having a market report or some kind of news happening in your community, and using our Announce My Move Create from Scratch program that way, okay? Let me show you another example. I did this took me about 5 or 10 minutes right before we hopped in this call because, of course, I'm much better at this text editor and program than you are, but you're going to get fast at this too. This is a great pumpkin cake recipe, okay? This one, if I preview it, you're going to see that I took this off of Craft Foods. It's a beautiful pumpkin cake. It's a great recipe for Halloween. So I did great pumpkin cake recipe, happy Halloween from my family to yours, and it's from Craft Foods. And I just went over to their website and took the information for that beautiful pumpkin cake, and then I sourced it. I hyperlinked it over to Craft Foods where that full recipe is located. Okay? This is another example of how you can be creative and generating content to be shared on the internet. Okay? People will get these announcements, particularly when they're not real estate related. Quite frankly, these are the ones that will go more viral. People will get it and say, oh, wow, this is a great pumpkin cake. I want to forward it to my friends. And every person who sees it gets introduced to you. You are going to find that your announcements that are not real estate related, you're going to see them go more viral. Okay? That's just a reality of communicating through social media and people's interest level. People are interested in a variety of things. They're not always about your listing. You know what I mean? So think outside the box about how you could use this in your business. Let's take a couple minutes to brainstorm. Type me in some ideas that are kind of coming to your mind, okay? Okay. The one person said, I've got a few questions here. Can we scan this? I would love to get the different announcements. Still have not gotten one. Can we use IPRE email address if we have AOL to get them? Yes, I do highly recommend. I think this is an agent who is, Susan is using AOL. AOL is really a challenge. They block a lot of things at their server level and they don't get to you. Yes, by all means, use your IPRE email address. We are on the whitelist for your server. You won't have any problems getting that in your email inbox. So certainly, Susan, change that to your IPRE email address, okay? And if you would like this great pumpkin cake, type me a little message, shoot me an email, okay? I'll spend some time in the next couple of days, and I will be more than happy to create this for you. It really only takes me maybe 5 minutes for each one, okay? So I know I'm opening up the Pandora box, guys. I am letting everybody know on this call. I didn't let the people know earlier in the previous call, but if any of you guys want this great pumpkin cake and you want to send it out for Halloween, send me an email. Here's my email address. You ready? JODISHOO at announcemymove.com. Okay? JODISHOO at announcemymove.com, and type me a little message and say, I'd like that great pumpkin cake. Give me your RMLSFL ID number, and I don't need your password. I can get in, and I'll just create that great pumpkin cake for you. Okay? What other questions do you guys have for me? I wanted to brainstorm a little bit. So let's think about your community. Think about your particular niche.
Now, in this room, we say calendar, special events.
Special events.
And a calendar came from this room.
Yep, calendar of special events. Yep. What else?
Oh, boat parade.
Boat parade.
Boat parade, yes. Yes, yes, yes. What about the wine festival? I heard you guys have a wine festival out there.
You do?
I bet you guys have got some fall activities.
We have a wine festival every day at happy hour.
Happy hour, and it might just be something simple like maybe you're going to feature some of your top listings, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, feature your top listings, and then in the body of the announcement, type in one of the frequently asked questions that buyers and sellers are asking you today. Okay? And put a little snippet, and or maybe pop in a YouTube video of you talking, maybe 3 minutes or less, about that frequently asked question and what your response is. Oh, there was a couple of really good ones that came in. What about we do charities as well? Can we use this for charity events? Susan said, absolutely, Susan, and I will not be surprised if your company, if Lisa or Debbie create some for the charity events that IPRE is involved with. But you might be involved in a charity event through your church or some local organization. Maybe you've got a breast cancer awareness thing that you're involved in that you're passionate about. Share that information. People like to share that over and over again. There's another one. How about new restaurants or new businesses? Kathleen, great suggestion. I have had agents use our Announce My Move Create from Scratch program to feature some of their partners. Like if you've got a mortgage guy that you work with, or a State Farm insurance guy, or Allstate gal that you work with, or a new business that you support, okay? Or maybe you've got a friend that is a pampered chef, okay? Just throwing this out. Pampered chef ladies like to share recipes and share, events that are happening, and, they're going to forward out that announcement to all their friends. Every person who sees it is that you're going to be the woman or the man who supports small businesses in your community, okay? So think about that. You might even get someone that says, Susan, that flyer thingy, they're going to call it the flyer thingy that you created for me when we moved? My daughter, or we're having an anniversary party, and do you think you could create one of those for our anniversary party? What do you think your response is going to be? Yes. Guys, of course we'll do that for you, because every person they see it is going to see that banner on the right-hand side, okay? There was someone who said, specifically to Lisa, please ask Lisa to do a corporate report of the Palm Beach market report for all of us to use, okay? You know what? That was great, Lisa. Actually, I don't think Lisa's on this call, but Debbie, if you could make a note. I didn't know that Palm Beach market report was something that was given to you by Illustrated Properties. I thought it was something Nancy had created or found somewhere. So I'll share that market report with Lisa, and she can take a look at what we did for Nancy, and maybe there's a version of it that she could create for everybody to use. And another person said, save the date announcements for weddings. Lots and lots of examples on how to use this. Guys, it's only limited to your own imagination, okay? So once you get your creative juices going and you get used to using the wizard, you'll use it for a lot of things. And it's all about building referrals. We are in a relationship business. And when you provide good content that people want to share over and over and over again, we track how many times your announcements are viewed. You got a report here. So we'll see each of your announcements, how many times your announcements were viewed, if someone sent you an email or visited your website from it. We'll see all of your listing announcements, the custom designed announcements, and any of the corporate announcements that you send out. And by the way, your corporate office will see if you sent out those corporate messages, because they have a cumulative report, and it will be obvious if there's one hit on your announcement or 500, okay? So they will be keeping track and seeing which of the corporate announcements were the most popular. Which ones did you guys like the most? Which were the most effective for your business? Because they'll also be tracking if someone visited your website or sent you an email from it. Okay, so they can see the effectiveness of this program. Okay? So I hope that this was helpful to everyone. I'm so glad that you guys joined me, and this is recorded. So if you ever want to come back in and listen to it again, I know it was a little long, but I hope it was really good information, information rich for you. Are there any follow-up questions before I end the webinar? Type me a little message back.
Do you want to just add about the script for the
If there wasn't, it wouldn't
you don't have script.
Oh, you know what, she said that was the old text, thing, they're upgrading that, so maybe mention it.
Janelle,
Yes.
I have one question.
Okay.
In regards to the announcement, the signature line, is it possible to have script, or is that when
One of the upgrades.
one of the upgrades
To the text box.
to the text box?
Oh, no, it's easy. All you do, like, let me just change it for you. So if I went into that announcement, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about. In the client comment section where we had Nancy's name, is that what you're asking me? And so Nancy just did it this way in bold, but she could have done it in italics. She just chose to have it formatted that way.
She just needs to change it in that area. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh.
You need the font, and they don't have script in the font.
Oh, I guess there's no script in the font.
What do you mean by script in the font?
The type of writing that she likes. Her favorite, like yours is Georgia. Hers is script.
Oh, hers is script, so there's a limited number of fonts. Oh, I see what you mean. So she likes a particular font. Let me check with our text people. I'm not really sure how that works, if there's other types of scripts that can be added, font styles to our text editor. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And there was another quick question. Will corporate email us when they have some corporate templates ready? Yes. So when there is an announcement that's created by your marketing team at the company level, you will receive an email with the banner and hyperlink to the announcement they created for you. Okay? And then you'll either forward it out through email and then also view it and share it on your social media site. There was another quick question that came in. Could you bring the pumpkin cake in November? Oh, sure, no problem, Steve. I'm going to use Nancy's account again in November. And by the way, if any of you guys come up with some really fun, creative announcements in the next couple weeks, or even after the next couple weeks, put me on your email distribution. I would love to see what you're creating, and maybe shoot one over to me and say, hey, Janelle, what do you think about this? Is there any way that I can make it even better? Okay? I do this all day long. I will help you create the best possible announcements. And once you see some of the techniques I use, then you'll pick and choose which ones you like, and I'll teach you how I did it, okay? All right, any other questions for me? And I'm getting some really good feedback, Debbie. Lots of people are typing in that they're really excited to get started using this. And they're ready, now they're just ready to jump in, okay? And there was, Susan said, you've been fantastic, very accessible. Please don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call me. The best way to reach me is on my cell phone number. I'll give it to you right here. Okay, if you're writing it down, pick up the phone and call me. My cell phone is 949-547-2456. If you look at this Contact Us button, I don't know that it has my cell phone in it, but it does have my email. This is me right here, okay? I'm at extension 1, but I'm not always at my desk, so I travel a lot and teach around the country. So there's my email address. I would prefer that you use this email address versus the Gmail. I use Gmail to set up the go-to webinars. So try to use this Announce My Move. I check it most frequently. And then just pick up the phone and call me on my cell, okay? All right, you guys, listen, have a fantastic day. I'm just going to hang on and see if there's any other questions before I hang up. Debbie, any other questions in your neck of the woods?
No, we're good.
Janelle, just a quick question. This is one of those oddball, not oddball ones, but when you're and you are sharing the Facebook page, you said 100 times, and I'll say that first, to go to your business page first if that's where you want to share it to, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, the drop-down box, when it says go to page or whatever, is that wrong? Is that not
No, here's what it's doing. Here's what it's doing. It's posting it on your page, but it's posting it as you, the individual.
Oh.
When you, here, I'm going to show you an example, okay?
Yeah.
When you go onto your business page, I'm going to go on to announce my moves. I have a couple where I've shared it incorrectly on purpose, so you can see the difference, okay? So when I go on to our Facebook business page, and when I post something, you want to post it as the page so that you can see how many impressions you're getting. You see your feedback, okay? You see your analytics, your insights.
Now this is doing it correct.
Right. So when you share it as the individual, I'll show you. Let's see when I shared as an individual. Keep on going. Hang on. There. I shared this one as an individual.
I get
did not. There are no analytics. It did not go on the news feed of my followers. It just went on the wall. So probably no one saw it, or very few. So you've got to share it as the business. So the way you do that is you come up to your little drop-down thing here, use Facebook as a page, and you're switching your, see, I'm an administrator of a couple different pages, so you switch your identity to use it as the page. Now I'm interacting with Facebook as the page. And so now when I come up and I go to share this announcement, okay, I want to preview it.
And you hit the Facebook.
And you use a and this is true for all share buttons, not just ours. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to see that it's going to log me in, and it's going to post it as the page. You see that?
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah, that's obviously.
Your Announce My Move account, your IP account instead of your Debbie account.
You see that? It's going posting as this page. Otherwise, what happens if you're in Facebook and you switch your identity back to the individual, and I look at that announcement again, okay, now I use the share button, it's going to be posting it as the individual. See? Watch what's going to happen. Okay? Now I can share it on my wall, on my friend's wall, in a group, or on my page. But look when I share it on my page. Okay? So if I want to post on to announce my move, I'm posting it as myself.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
The little thing you need to know. I mean, there's no instruction manual, you know?
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
And Kathleen says, I love G. Had him for 2 CRS courses 2 years ago. G. Dunstan is one of our social media trainers. He is phenomenal. If you ever have a chance through CRS or through anything to be able to hear him speak, he's really an amazing speaker. Okay? One person said, can you run through that one more time real quickly? No problem. So when I'm on Facebook and I'm interacting with Facebook as Janelle, and I use a share button, I'm posting it as myself, as Janelle. Now, although I can share it on my wall or on my page, I'm posting it onto our thing as myself, posting as yourself. So what you want to do is go into Facebook, switch your identity to use Facebook as the page, okay? Switch the identity, and now when you come into your announcement or any share button, now when you share it, you're going to be posting it as the page. See that? Posting as this page. That's how you get the analytics on Facebook when you make a post. Okay, you want to be able to see how many impressions, and you want to see what kind of interactions you're getting. And if you're getting 0 feedback, then you need to change your strategy. This one wasn't something that people were interested in sharing or giving feedback on. You want to increase your interactions on Facebook. You want to stimulate conversation. You want to engage in dialogue. It's not about pushing information out. It's about stirring a conversation that can lead to referrals, that people will share your information over and over again. Okay? Too many people are going onto Facebook. I want to show you something real fast while we're on it, okay? This is important, okay? For those of you who are hanging in, I know it's been a long webinar. Thank you for that. When you look through your news feed, you're going to find that people are posting links and various things. Let's see if I can find a realtor that's posted a link to maybe an article they found on Inman News. Let me see if I can find anything. When you're posting a video or a link to an article, you're driving traffic back to that article, away from you. I'm not finding anyone doing it all of a sudden. Let's see if I can see. There we go. Okay, so Alice, who's not a realtor, by the way, but let's pretend this was an article that she found on Inman News. When I click on that link, it's taking me away from Alice over to this site that's not branded for her. She can't capture impressions or click-throughs to her website, or if people send her an email from it. She's sharing something that's from another site and driving traffic over there. With Announce My Move, if you use us kind of like a little micro blog and you post the information in here and then share this link, it's coming to a page that's branded for you. Because on Facebook, if I wanted to take this link, let's pretend this was an article about for consumers, I could come in here and share this.
There's branding all over the place.
You guys following me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I can remove Alice as the source, and I'm the source of the good information. You want to always be pointing back to a page that's branded with your information on it, so you don't lose the momentum of good content you're sharing on social media. I know that was advanced. I'm going to go through that in my advanced class, okay? It's an important piece for realtors when they're building their business on Facebook, okay? There were a couple little questions that came in. Are you changing the identity to Announce My Move or to your own business page? Jeff, that is my business page. It's Announce My Move. That's the business page, okay? And someone said, I needed to know all of that. I'm guilty of doing it the wrong way. Okay, well, hopefully that was a nice little tutorial on Facebook, and GC said, okay, thanks. Any other questions that I can answer while you've got me on the call? And I love to be friends on Facebook, so if you want to reach out to me and be friends, I'm an open networker. You're welcome to do that, okay? I just put all agents on probation. You know what I mean? If you're posting listing, and all you're doing is talking about how wonderful you are, then we're not going to probably engage in good conversations right now, right? Are we? So, but I love to be friends on Facebook and would love to get to know each of you in a personal way and professional way as well, okay? All right, you guys, listen, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to record this, render the video, and pop it onto your site here shortly, okay?
Thanks, Janelle. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you guys next month, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.